Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We got a lot to talk about because this past Saturday was indeed Saturday main event number 2 in this new generation, and overall, I thought it was pretty good. Of course, there was some things on the show that I really loved, and there was other things I could have done a little differently. But then again, what do I know? I might be crazy. You guys be the judge. I'm going to share my opinion, and we're going to talk about it together. So without further ado, let's get into what happened on Saturday main event. We're going to be talking about the good, we're going to be talking about the bad, and all of the heartbreak. So let's get into it. So first and foremost, I really did love the whole presentation. I love the whole idea of this event, and I think it's really cool because I didn't grow up with it. So now I'm kind of seeing it here as an adult. I don't really have nostalgia, but I have the feeling of this is cool, and I like it. We even had a shot of Ted DiBiase, that old man, coming out of that Cadillac after some time. I thought he was stuck in there for a second, but eventually he did make his way out of the car, and we saw him with the $1 million thing, doing his thing, you know, the laugh that he does. And yeah, it's pretty good. I also have to give some flowers to Joe Tessitore. I think that's how you say his name. This man's killing it, man. I think he's great, and his voice just suits this old school feel really, really well. Along with that is who they brought on for the second time in a row, which is Jesse Ventura. And I mean, just what can you say? This man's a living legend. He's just so good at what he does. Even to this day, right? He has no rust whatsoever. This man's killing it. I didn't grow up with him on like commentary, or even I don't really know much about him. Not my generation, but I'm learning about it, and I think it's really, really cool. And like I said, like, he's in just top shape, and he makes me laugh every time he says something, and it's just really, really, really good stuff. But theatrics and production aside, let's get into some wrestling reviews, because that's why you're here. We had 4 matches. We're going to talk about all 4 and how they did and how I thought they went. This is one man's opinion. Let's go. So we did indeed start with the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match. We had Nia Jax, the challenger, trying to take the crown from Rhea Bloody Ripley. And honestly, okay, if you saw my predictions and if you saw my review on Raw, you'll know that I was not looking forward to this match in the slightest. I didn't think it would be exciting. I'm not the biggest fan of Nia Jax. I'm happy to say that I was proven wrong, dude. I really, really enjoyed this match, and I thought it was really good. The reason for that, I think, was because when they started this match, they put their foot on the gas and they didn't let go. It was just non-stop action, and I really, really like fast-paced wrestling, okay? I know people have different opinions on it. I like the fast-paced style that they were going, and they were very aggressive, and actually all of the matches were very intense and aggressive. So the performers were definitely on a mission to be intense, and they definitely delivered, especially in this match. I thought it was great. Just in general, Rhea Ripley is a star. She comes out to a huge reaction, and she just carries herself like a champion. The biggest problem we have is that sometimes she's too good, right? Like, who can actually face her and who is a credible threat to her title? Right now, I see why Nia is what they're pushing. I think they could be pushing some other people, but in general, it's really hard because, in my opinion, she's on another planet right now. She's just killing. And right away, during the introductions, Nia wastes no time and headbutts her while Lillian Garcia is announcing everybody. So definitely a heel move. Get the upper hand and tries to take control early in this match. We did have a beautiful Samoan drop from Nia Jax from the top rope. So like I said, I think she proved me wrong in a lot of ways here. Nia Jax was in top form, so I have to give her credit for that. She put on a show, man. And then let's go ahead and go to the finish of the match. Rhea delivers a riptide, and just like that, just like this review, out of nowhere, it just ended. And so I did see that kind of being a thing online, and I do kind of see the point of that. This match was building and building and building, and all of a sudden, just after, I think it was pretty much just after one riptide, Rhea Ripley easily gets the win over Nia Jax, and she doesn't look that strong in that defeat, honestly. It looked like it was a pretty easy win. Overall, I mean, I thought it was good, especially for the placement of the card. Like, being the first match, It's just my personal preference is I like fast-paced matches to start shows, and I've said that before. So this definitely delivered in that sense. It ended abruptly. I did not expect it to end that quickly, especially after just one finish. Like, who does that nowadays, right? That's kind of crazy. But I also don't hate that because I think we should be doing more of that. So I thought it was good. Like I said, I was thoroughly impressed. I wasn't looking forward to the match at all. And even with that, I thought it was a really great match. And, of course, Rhea Ripley was going to win. And there was just no doubt in my mind that she was going to win. Like, she was obviously not going to lose the title here. She's going in the WrestleMania with it. And what she does from there, who knows? But there's no way they take the belt from her this early. No way. And that will be a theme throughout the whole night. Like, I will say this right off the bat, you're not going to get any surprises here, in my opinion. It was pretty by the numbers as far as a pay-per-view. Again, it's not even really a PLE when you think about it. It's like in between a PLE and a Raw. So there was nothing crazy that was going on. We got the Royal Rumble next week. So literally there's nothing that they did that was like, oh my goodness. But overall, I thought it was a great show, and this was a great start to that show. And then right after that, we moved on to another title match. We had Sheamus versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental Championship. Sheamus, of course, just needing that IC title to complete his collection of trinkets in WWE, right? But it was not to be this night, and it was really, really, really sad. Now, of course, on my predictions, I'm happy because I got it right. I didn't want to be right, but I just thought there's no way that they have Sheamus win the title here. If you know WWE, they like to keep that joy from us as long as possible, right? They don't want us to be happy. It's just true. They don't want us to see these things. And so I knew that he wouldn't win. I just had a feeling for that. Do I think he should have won? Maybe. I think he's going to win it eventually. I think if you do it on a bigger stage, it might mean more. So I'm personally fine with it. And overall, the match itself was pretty good. Another fast-paced one, and another one that I think ended kind of abruptly as well. Now let's talk about the match for a second. So they do indeed tie up very quickly. Another quick start. Braun Breaker does the running 23 miles an hour around the ropes thing that he does, which was pretty cool. It's always nice to see that. He's very, very fast. Then we had one of the best spots of the night, in my opinion, which was Sheamus. So they're outside at this point, and Sheamus jumps off of the ring steps, and Braun decides he wants to kill him. So he goes and spears him mid-air, and it looked brutal. It was so good. Got a huge pop. I literally just went, oh, snap. Like, I was losing my mind. Best spot of the night, in my opinion. Really, really good. Intense, again, is the word to describe this match. Just hard-hitting and really, really good. Before we got to the finish, Sheamus did get a bro kick out of nowhere, and that got a very, very, very close 2 count. So that was a near fall that actually got me for a second. I thought he might win there, and it got everybody else too. But he did not. We kept on going. Sheamus goes for another bro kick. This takes us to the finish as his ribs give out. He was selling his ribs the whole match. So Braun delivers another spear with like the top of his head and gets the win. And that was it, right? So it was kind of another thing where it was like very fast, very abrupt ending. And then we had the winner. And that was it. So that's going to be the theme of the night, right? Quick matches. The whole pay-per-view, honestly, I think it only lasted like 2 hours, right? It was not that long of an event in general. Like, we're used to like marathons, and I didn't really hate it. I thought it was fine. I think he'll win the title though, so I think it's all right. He's got to win it eventually. If he never does, that would be crazy. But I think we're just holding off for a little bit longer, and we're going to give it to him on a bigger stage. Shout out to Sheamus. He definitely deserves it at this point. So it's just going to be awesome when he finally is able to achieve that final prize. Then we had a break from wrestling. I thought this was very well placed. It was time for the contract signing between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens in the ladder match for the WWE Championship, which was indeed facilitated by none other than the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. And of course, Kevin Owens comes out in another amazing shirt to start off this thing, and it just says, Cody sucks eggs. And of course, he was referencing that SpongeBob episode when Squilliam said that to Squidward. Cody comes out after that, and he gets a giant pop, and he has no time for graphic t-shirts. He comes in a suit, and he means business, baby. Kevin Owens, being the dastardly heel that he is, starts to talk, and he does not hold back, and neither of them really hold back. Kevin Owens mentions Cody Rhodes leaving WWE. He doesn't mention AEW by name, but he definitely insinuates it before Cody cuts him off. And then he starts going off on Shawn Michaels and saying, well, hey, buddy, you also left whenever things got tough for you. If anything, I am the true, I guess, WWE person. I don't leave. I don't quit. I just stay here. You guys are the quitters. And at low-key, it's kind of like, you got a point, man. But I'm not supposed to be liking you. But I also do like you. It's very confusing. After a while, they do the belts, both of the belts, the WWE title and the Winged Eagle title, ascending to the top, and it goes up to the top, and, they do a little stare down, and then the fight breaks out, and guess what? Shawn Michaels comes out of retirement to deliver a sweet chin music right to Kevin Owens that got the pop of the night for sure. It was really awesome to see. Everybody's talking about it, and man still got it for sure. It was a thing of beauty. I wish somebody would have gone through the table. That's always my favorite way to end these, but they did not do that, so they left that open. Nobody went through the table. Made me a little sad. But other than that, I thought it was a really, really good segment. And then we moved back on to some wrestling. We had the big Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu match. And overall, another pretty good match, I gotta say. Now look, okay, I have to be honest and say that out of all the matches, this one was my least favorite. But it's also because it was a good match. But the finish was very, very interesting to me. I don't think that I did like that finish. I know why they did it. I know protection and all that. But I just hate DQ finishes in general. I think that it's way overdone at this point, and I just don't want to see them anymore. But we'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about this match because it was super intense. It was hard-hitting. And it was everything that you expected from this match, other than the fact that, and okay, this is going into why it was a DQ. They're probably going to do a street fight, which I think suits them very well. So other than that element missing, I thought they delivered, and it was a pretty decent match. A little bit later, Braun does the choo-choo train thing, not once, but twice. Of course, the train started to slow down just a little bit, he went for it. He hit it successfully twice. He went for it a third time at like a light jog. The train was doing a light jog around the ring, and it got derailed by Fatu, who pretty much stopped him in his tracks. Samoan drop on the table and took control of the match. So that's pretty funny to watch. And this is where, again, it was fine. So here's what happened. Fatu delivers like 50 of those butt bumps to Strowman's head, and he's literally trying to kill the man. And so he just does it over and over. And after like the 15th one, I kind of realized that, I see what they're going to do. And the referee steps in, and Fatu throws the ref and continues. Like, he tries to stop him, but Fatu throws the ref out of the way, and he continues to try to end Strowman's life. And Strowman just doesn't fight back at all. He just kind of sits there and takes it. And then the referee stopped the match, and then that was it. Disqualification. Braun Strowman won. Yay. Stop. How do you get disqualified for being too aggressive? Like, is that an illegal move? And I guess you could say it's because he pushed the ref and didn't listen and stop, but that's not a rule. And also, people push the ref all the time and they don't get disqualified. I know that the rules are arbitrary, right? So I mean, we're really, what are we even really talking about here? But as far as for me, I was like, I mean, I guess, but maybe that, in my opinion, shouldn't that be like Jacob Fatu wins because Strowman can't continue because he's lying on the floor unconscious? Wouldn't he win by knockout? No. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Anyway, other than that, I mean, it was fine, but I'm just not a fan of that type of finish. So I didn't enjoy it. I thought that was pretty lame, But overall, the match was good, and I'm excited to see them fight in a no-holds-barred match, or whatever they want to call it, a Monsters Ball match, or a street fight, or whatever the heck they call it these days, right? I think that'll be great. Then that brought us to our main event of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to talk about heartbreak, if you want to talk about drama, and you want to talk about WWE bringing the emotions out of you, that was this match. We had Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And just for a second, okay, in my predictions, I thought Gunther was going to win and keep the title. But just for a second, I thought maybe, just maybe, they were going to give it to Jey. I really wanted it to happen. I was hoping in my heart of hearts that it was going to happen, that he would finally win the big prize on the big stage, well, on a semi-big stage, on a big match against a big star, and it just was not going to happen, and I knew it, and I still fell for it. Ugh. So right away, Gunther straight up just kicks Jey as he's trying to give away his yeet glasses. And they start fighting pretty much immediately, going back and forth with some fast-paced stuff. That was the name of the game today. Throughout the match, we had some great highlights. Gunther delivering vicious chops, like I said, throughout. He whips Jey Uso hard into the corner and keeps control. We have Jey delivering a Samoan drop to a huge pop. And the crowd at this point is 100% behind Jey. And me too, I'm like, come on, man, you got this, you got this. I was completely hooked. And that's how you know you have a good wrestling match. Is if you're in it, you're not even taking notes anymore, right? You're just, well, most people don't. But if you're doing a video like this, you kind of are, but you're just in it, right? I was just in it for the ride. Gunther delivers a drop kick and a power bomb, a little combination that he does, and only gets 2. And so right here, that was a big move. And I was like, maybe, because then Jey delivered a super kick and again almost got the win, and I was like, that could have been it. But then Jey power bombs Gunther from the top rope and for another near fall, and that one I thought that was close. Okay, maybe, just maybe, I'm starting to swing just a little bit at this point. But then we have Jey Uso going for another super kick. He hits a spear after that, and he goes to the top rope and hits an Uso splash. And right then and there, with all of my heart and all of my soul, I thought he was going to win. The referee went 1. The referee went 2. And the referee went no. He took it away from us, and Gunther kicked out. And after that, I knew it was all over. And I just sat there. I was like, oh, no. He easily hits 2 power bombs and gets the win. And that's pretty much it. The crowd, the air is taken out from the crowd. Everybody really, really wanted Jey to win. I knew he probably wasn't going to win. I knew it was a foregone conclusion, but you just hope, right? You just hope in your heart of hearts, and that's how you know you got a really good baby face, don't you? I mean, I love Jey Uso. He's got to get the win at some point. Tonight was not his night. That brought us to the end of the show. Overall, I thought it was a very solid show. Like I said, there were some things I liked, and I talked about those, and there was some things I didn't like, and I talked about those. Let me know what you agreed with. Let me know what you disagreed with. Overall, I think we can all agree that, you know, I'm just happy this thing is happening. You know, let's keep this going. Saturday Night Main Event. Sign me up for another one. Let's do it. The emotions I felt for Jey, right? I think that would have been so cool to see him win. But the fact that the WWE made me feel something for that match, I'm actually going to put that as my favorite match. Gunther versus Jey Uso for the world title. Rhea and Nia was a close second, but I knew who was going to win that, and there was no indication at all that Nia was ever going to win. They had me for a second in the Jey Uso match. So you know what? I'm going to give that one my favorite match of the night for sure. But that was very, very close. My least favorite, no surprise, it was just the Fatu versus Strowman match. It was not a bad match. I don't think there was a bad match on this show, to be honest with you. But just as far as the finish, not my favorite thing in the world. And I think they could have done just have a winner. I think I don't think it really matters at this point. Like, just have somebody win. Or at least make it make sense for me just a little bit more. With that, thank you so much for watching this review on Saturday Main Events. Let me know what you thought. Let me know what you're thinking. And I'll see you again on the next one. See you at the Rumble, I guess. Boo.